perché vuol dire che non c'era, perché lo stonamento del decennio non permette di ricordare, e lo ha scritto anche lui nell'introduzione del libro, ma quindi come ha fatto a ricordare?
There are many lost nights, and the interesting thing is that generally your friends take great pleasure from filling you in on those lost nights. But it does have to be said that the story of the Hacienda was not just about me on a night. It was about people who were interested in making sure that people like them were looked after in Manchester. You know, it started from a very simple premise, which was that people like us, punks, had nowhere to go in Manchester.
Allora, è cominciato tutto con gangs of Manchester, the police of Manchester, and the fuori, I don't know, the doorman, yes.
Security.
The security, yes. It was four kind of energy clashing together. C'erano 4 tipi di energie diverse che si scontravano each night. How was the mix?
Generally, the Hacienda was split into 3 sections. From 1981 to 87, it was a concert venue, because whilst Tony and Rob built the club for the people, they didn't come. But the concerts were very popular. We championed post-punk.
Quindi la prima fase è stata fatta soprattutto per i concerti, quindi una sala da concerti principalmente con gruppi post-punk.
In 1987, it went to Acid House. Huge explosion. It brought with it the drug explosion, ecstasy.
Quindi la seconda fase è quella dell'Acid House con l'esplosione dell'ecstasy.
Once that happened and the club was banging, then it was wow. You couldn't stop the people coming. They were desperate to get in. And then the drugs attracted the gangsters. We thought it'd be a good idea because the police wouldn't help. They wouldn't come near us. They had no relationship with us, no matter how much we begged. They just said no. We thought the only way would be to set a thief to catch a thief. So we employed one gang to do the door, not knowing that that became like a contest, you know, the fastest gun in the West. And every other gang then came to take them on, yeah, and we were like, oh God, and it was incredible to witness.
Allora, è un po' come un western, ho detto, perché è successa appunto l'esplosione della nuova psichedelia, chiamiamola così, di quegli anni, delle sostanze usate in quegli anni, ha portato il pubblico a impazzire, e l'azienda è diventata veramente il luogo in cui essere in assoluto. Non c'era Londra o altro posto al mondo che valesse la pena come andare in quel club, e quindi la gente è arrivata a fiotte. È arrivata moltissima gente, moltissima droga, sono arrivati i gangster, e quindi le gang che controllavano il mercato. Hanno pensato che per evitare problemi il modo migliore per cacciare un ladro è assumere un ladro, quindi presero una delle gang per fare il servizio d'ordine, ma questo portò a un'escalation anche di tensione con le altre gang che volevano avere tutto, compreso il controllo della sicurezza della città.
In the first 6 years of the club's life, we won the award for the nicest bouncers, doorman. And then for the next 6 years we won the award for the nastiest doorman. Yeah. The audience was a third, if not less, quarter of this. Yeah. But it was interesting because I was not a musician. I had no interest in music. I'd been to see Led Zeppelin, Santana, Deep Purple, all the people like that, and I had no interest in making music. When I went to see the Sex Pistols, watching Johnny Rotten telling everybody to fuck off, I thought I could do that. Literally, I thought, wow, you know, and it was like a revelation. And once you became a punk, you were against everything. And the music was almost, it was like if you were a punk, you had to make music. And that was what we did. Now, we were lucky, we were very lucky. A lot of the people there that night were very lucky in that they became talented musicians. You know, to be in one group that changes the world is fantastic. To make it into two, as I have, is just absolutely incredible. So I have to thank the Sex Pistols and Malcolm McLaren for being the catalyst on that night. And it wasn't as if they were good, they were bad. And it was the badness that turned you on. It was like, if they can do it, I can do it. It was mad.
Allora c'è questo famoso...
When you fixed for the first time?
U2 are obviously Joy Division in another guise, aren't they? And Rob Gretton always used to say to us, whenever we did something awkwardly, he'd always say, if it wasn't for you, we'd be as big as them Irish bastards. he was very, not envious. I think in a way, I think that he saw what Joy Division could have become, and he was frustrated in the same way that we were overwhelmed by the grief, if you like, of what Joy Division could have been, and without a doubt, we could have been U2. Not too sure I'm unhappy about not being U2, I'd have to say, but yeah, I mean, it's, you know, Bono is like, to me, he's like Marmite. You either love him or you hate him. And I'm not a great fan of musicians preaching. I think you should lead by example and not by this personally. But no, I mean, I like their music. I do think that they could have, you know, Joy Division could have been as big as U2, but I'm not too sure I would have enjoyed it.
Avrebbero potuto essere solo, un po' come Joy Division, e ogni volta che noi facevamo qualche cosa di sbagliato, Rob Gretton si disperava e diceva: se non foste così negati, se non faceste questi errori, diventereste anche voi quei bastardi irlandesi, perché era pieno di invidia in realtà per il successo degli U2 e pensava che anche noi avremmo potuto fare altrettanto. Devo dire che francamente Bono, che dire, o lo ami o lo odi. Io personalmente non sono un grande fan dei musicisti predicatori, penso che sia meglio dare l'esempio. Potevamo diventare come loro? Forse, non so se quello sarebbe stato il mio desiderio.
I couldn't take the lipstick. I couldn't do that. I mean, ironically, I like The Cure now, but they were competition, and groups are very competitive. So you hate every other group with a passion. So I would have nothing to do with any other group. Interestingly, The Cure were the Cure were the only band where my mother used to phone me up and say, "Have you heard One of These Days?" or whatever it was called. "Have you heard The Walk?" And because it sounds like New Order, and the bass player obviously was very influenced by me. But yeah, you know, I take it as a compliment nowadays. I really do, and I have to admire Robert Smith because I think he's quite uncompromising in his attitude to playing and to acting. You know, if I look like that, I'd be scared to go out. Joking.